I'm Jen. I'm Chaya.
Ari.
And our element was space.
And our principle was proportion.
And we decided to make the collection Society's Evils.
My first thought when we got our element and principle was instantly, what could we use of that? And I love the idea of using the human body because it's a very proportional structure that if you want to make the human body, it's all about proportion. And if you want to make it look good, you have to make the proportions all exact and realistic. The hardest part of the project by far for me was working with so many different mediums. I've never worked with chicken wire before. I've never worked with plaster before, and I've definitely never built 5'5" sculptures before.
One big thing I learned is that working with chicken wire is not as easy as I thought it would be. You really need some tough work gloves or else you're gonna get cut up everywhere on your hands.
The reason why we chose the school was because in middle school, it's about that time when you start getting access to a phone. Kids are getting phones younger and younger, but it's around middle school that you generally start getting a phone. And we wanted to bring awareness that even though it's great and all, to be connected, it also comes with a lot of responsibility that if you can't handle, you should really think about putting limitations on either as a parent or as a kid, realizing that you have a lot of power now and a lot of responsibility that comes with it. For instance, things aren't ever permanently deleted. They can always come back, and that's probably the scariest thing that we all try to shove under the rug when we do risky things on social media or just in general that involves saving something onto our camera roll or saying something on the phone or maybe messaging a hate message to someone, that in reality all of it really is saved.
The hardest part of the project, I would say, was probably getting the plaster to sit on top of the paper mache well, because it kept getting really, really lumpy, and at the end we just had to sand it down.
So space, I thought, would be harder because I'm not exactly sure what the definition of space is. It's kind of really broad and you could have missing pieces or it could just be a blank space in a picture. I wasn't really sure about that. The hardest part of the project is probably designing my sculpture piece because see no evil is kind of hard to, actually all the sayings are kind of hard to put into physical form unless you look at the monkeys. The monkeys are kind of an easy way, but to put technology and society into the pieces and still have them make sense as a physical thing is really hard.
The hardest thing for me was painting, even though I've painted a lot, and that's mainly because I'm not used to painting on an uneven surface like plaster is. So that challenged my ability as a painter of how can I paint an image on an uneven surface but still have it convey the same message that I wanted to.
Well, the biggest choice was deciding what piece we were gonna do, because that's probably the biggest part of the whole project. You kind of have to decide what you're gonna do. And also deciding what days to meet and how long we were gonna meet was sort of hard because some days didn't work for us. I couldn't go to all the meetings. So deciding dates was hard.
I've learned so much. I love doing art. I haven't chosen a medium yet that I think I've excelled in. And so this really challenged me to think light on my feet, taking all that I knew by looking up YouTube videos, internet researches to figure out what would be the most successful outcome. And it was a bunch of, not trial and error because we tend to succeed a lot with that, but there was definitely a lot of trials and a lot of things that we thought we could have done but we ended up not doing or had to buy more of because we realized we underestimated it.
The project actually took a surprisingly short time. I thought it was going to take months to actually get the models to work and look like actual humans. But it only took around 5 days. We could have done it in a week as soon as it was assigned if the plaster had shipped to us faster. I'm really happy with the way the project turned out. At first I thought building 3 human torsos was going to be nearly impossible, but we did it, and before every other group finished as well. At first, finding a space for the models to sit was fairly difficult. We didn't know where to put them. Luckily, Chaya had some connections with White Hill Middle School, and that all worked out really well.
I think it was a success, even though it was kind of nerve-wracking to have the art opening because Miss K kept on circling around like a shark, and I was kind of like,
She's gonna be watching this.
I know. I was like, she's gonna criticize us, and I was scared about that, but it ended up pretty well, so thank you.